Kyrie Irving, net star guard, requested a trade, I believe, on Friday. Now, a lot of people were caught off guard by this trade request, considering that the Nets currently stand at a 4 seed in the East. With Kevin Durant being out, Kyrie Irving has been playing the best basketball of his entire career. Apparently, behind the scenes, Kyrie Irving was trying to get another long-term contract with the Nets. The Nets, however, weren't willing to give him the 4-year deal that he was looking for. They wanted him for 2 more seasons, which, I mean, makes sense. Durant is under contract for 3 more years, so I could understand that, why they wouldn't want to sign Kyrie long term. And also, we already know the things that have gone on since Kyrie has been with the Nets. Number one, he hasn't been that available, whether it's due to injuries or some other bull crap that he's been involved in. But Kyrie Irving made it evident that he wanted to have a long-term extension with the Brooklyn Nets. I think the least nobody, well, maybe some people, but nobody really expected him to get moved to Dallas. I don't think a whole lot of people saw him going to Dallas. And he was traded to Dallas for Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith and a couple draft picks, first rounds and second rounds. This shows you how desperate the Mavericks are. Whether that's a good thing or not, the Mavericks have given Luka a plethora of reasons to leave Dallas. You trade Porzingis during the deadline last season. Now, granted, it probably worked out for the better because y'all went to the Western Conference Finals. But I think if you had a guy like Porzingis against a Warriors team who struggles with big men typically, maybe you would have had a better chance of winning that series. On top of that, you don't re-sign Jalen Brunson, who was clear-cut Luka's second best ball handler, second best scorer on the team. And at times, he was the number 1 scorer on the court. Was a big reason why they won that series versus Phoenix and the series versus Utah when Luka was out the first couple of games. You let him walk for nothing. You could have paid him, didn't even have to pay him that much. I think he was looking for like 20 or 50 million. Not 50, like around 20 million. Didn't give him that. Knicks paid a ransom to get him. Now he's looking like an all-star this year. On top of that, you look at the team you have currently constructed now. Luka is clear-cut the catalyst of the team. When he's not out there, they lose. Statistically, when Luka is on the court for the Mavericks, they're one of the best offensive teams in the NBA. When he's off the court, they're dead last. It was clear that you in a league where duos and some trios elevate teams, you need to pair somebody with Luka. You have to. The trade for Kyrie Irving, it lets you know how desperate the Mavericks are. Now, I applaud Dallas for actually going out there and trying to get their young superstar another co-star. Because a lot of teams we saw with the early days with LeBron and the Cavs, was just so content with LeBron carrying the team to the finals that he felt like he didn't need any help. It's one of the reasons why in 2010 he didn't make the trade for Amari Stoudemire, because he wanted to keep J.J. Hickson. I guarantee you 95% of the people who are listening to this pod right now don't know who J.J. Hickson is. So you refuse to get LeBron help the whole 7-year tenure he had with you, his first stint in Cleveland. And that's why he left, because he's like, yo, I don't have a chance of winning the championship with these guys because I need some help. I need somebody who is as good as me. So I give Dallas credit for trying and making efforts to go get their young superstar co-star. However, I don't feel like this is the right moves to make for Kyrie. And the reason is because of this. Luka is second behind Giannis in usage rating, right? Which means time with the ball in your hands. He's second behind Giannis. At one point, he was first in the league, but he missed a couple games, and obviously Giannis has been healthy majority of the season. But Luka is right under Giannis for ball usage. Kyrie Irving is a ball dominant guard. He's not really, as much as he's He plays the point. He has the ability to play the point, as we've seen in this stretch with the Nets. But at heart, Kyrie Irving is a 2. He's a scorer. He's a guy who can average 30. He can get you 40. He can go out and get you 40, 50, 60 at any given night. He's a scorer. But he needs the ball in his hands. We saw the experiment with James Harden where they tried to make it work, but 2 ball-dominant guys, let alone 2 ball-dominant guys who really don't play defense, it's not going to work out. So you look at a situation like Luka. Can Luka play off the ball? I don't think so. The Mavericks offense consists of everybody spread out wide, Luka with isolation, and just watch Luka cook, and he'll make the right play and he'll find it to you. Right? Last year they didn't have to deal with that because you had guys like Jalen Brunson who can create their own shot. You had a Kristaps Porzingis that you can work the screen and roll with. But now this year it's like, yo, everybody's spread out and just it's iso ball all game, right? And I mean, it's worked to an extent. They're over 500. I believe they're 5th or 6th in the West. Luka is averaging 34 a game. Probably should be the leading MVP candidate. So, I mean, it's working to an extent. But when it comes time for playoffs, stuff like that is not going to work out. I don't believe Luka can work off the ball well. Because as great as Luka is, his best, he's at his best when the ball is in his hands. He doesn't really do anything without the ball that makes him great. And the same thing could be said for Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is at his best when the ball is in his hands. Kyrie Irving doesn't do anything off the ball that makes the team better. So I don't know how to. I mean, we already seen it with Harden and Irving. 2 ball dominant guys are not going to work out. And like I said, 2 ball dominant guys who don't really play defense. I mean, Kyrie, he competes. I will say Kyrie Irving competes on defense. He's not a total liability. He actually goes out there and tries. My guy Luka, it's like it's no more trying with Luka. He don't even try to play defense. He just does the little, you blow by him and he does a little reach, try to taps the ball from behind. But after that, he's a cone. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He's a cone on defense. I don't know how in the world this is going to work out. Now, granted, they're going to make more moves. They're shopping JaVale McGee right now. I believe at some point you're going to have to shop Christian Wood as well. But I'm interested in seeing the next couple of moves the Mavericks make to shape this team. Because I don't think this team right now constructed, even with Kyrie Irving and Luka, can win a championship. Can they compete? Of course they can compete. They have 2 of the best offensive players in the league. But again, we saw 2 of the most, probably the two most lethal offensive players of all time link up in Brooklyn, and they won nothing. They didn't win a dang thing with KD and Kyrie. They had KD, Kyrie, and James Harden all on one team, and they only had 1 playoff series to show for it. So as much as people say, "Oh, offense," yeah, you can have a bunch of offense, but if you can't play well on the other side of the floor, you're not gonna go too far. You're not gonna go too far. So I think I applaud the Mavericks front office for trying to get their young superstar a co-star. Do I think it'll work out? I don't think so. Do I think Kyrie Irving will be back in Dallas on a long-term deal this offseason? I definitely don't think so. Because I think Kyrie has his mind made up that he wants to go to LA and play with LeBron again. It's the reason why Joe Tsai traded Kyrie Irving to the Mavs in general. It was clear he was not interested in talking to Rob Pelinka or anybody from the Lakers front office about a trade, because Kyrie Irving had made it evident that he wanted to go to LA. Now, Joe Tsai's like, yo, you caused this organization and this franchise turmoil, drama, and all type of publicity. Whether it was right or not, which I believe most of it wasn't really on him, but he did bring a lot of drama and attention to Brooklyn. So he's going to look at you like, you think I'm going to grant your wish? No. If anything, I'm salty because you don't want to be with us no more. So why would I trade you to a place where you want to go? I'm going to trade you to the worst possible situation that you could be in, since you're only going to be in there for a half a season. And that was the Mavericks. Everybody knows, and I feel like most people know, that the only situation that made sense for him was LA. You already have chemistry with Bron, so you don't have to worry about, oh, can me and him work out. Then you have your number one offensive option, Anthony Davis. So he's going to be a perimeter big. Screening roles with him is going to go insane. So all you have to worry, LeBron is going to go out there and facilitate. His job is to get everybody involved. So you just got to be a scorer. You just do what you did in Cleveland for those 4 or 5 years with Bron. Just be a scorer. You're shooting 37% from the three. They definitely need that. Especially when Bron goes to the bench and it's you and AD. Like, that's a match made in heaven for Kyrie. However, Joe Tsai wasn't going to let that slide. Rightfully so. I mean, he was salty. He wasn't going to let him just come. He wasn't going to grant him his wish. But do I think Kyrie Irving will be a Laker this offseason? I believe so, absolutely. Kyrie Irving has been in a lot of trouble and involved himself in a lot of drama in Brooklyn. That's obvious. We don't need to go in there. I will say this though. A lot of the troubles, people are making it seem like Kyrie is just a troublemaker. Like he's intentionally going out and causing chaos, which is not the case. Outside of him taking a random vacation in the middle of the season in 2021, everything else that he's done is him doing something that unintentionally offends others and puts pressure on the Brooklyn Nets to do something about it. The vaccination situation. Kyrie Irving made it evident he doesn't want to take the vaccine. He doesn't want to take the vaccine. As his personal business. As a result, the Nets suspended him, all that. And to be honest with you, that kind of started the hatred or the animosity that a lot of people have towards Kyrie, which is not getting the vaccine. Because not only did he not get the vaccine, people was like, oh, you have to get the vaccine to play. Okay. A couple months later, he was playing away games. And then a couple months after that, he was back playing home games. So essentially, he was right. He didn't take the vaccine, and he was able to still play. Still ain't vaccinated, and he's still playing to this day. So people are furious about that. So everything that Kyrie does, people go out and stretch it to make it seem like it's something that it's not. So in that situation, him not getting the vaccine is not him causing trouble. He just doesn't want to get the vaccine. But people take offense to it, so they make it bigger than what it is. The guy he's made it pretty known of his beliefs and whatnot, and him searching for history. He goes out, retweets a movie or a documentary of something on Amazon. Didn't even say nothing, didn't add nothing to the post, just reposted it on his Twitter. And people are dragging him like he said something crazy. It'd be something if he said, hey, if he reposted it and then added a caption like, dissing people or saying this and saying that. Like he just reposted a tweet and said nothing, just went on about his day, just reposted a tweet on Twitter. And people are making it seem like he's just this hateful guy who has hate towards a certain group of people. Like, again, that's something that's not a him problem. That's other people taking offense to his actions that are unintentional. He already stated that, by me reposting a tweet, I had no hateful intent to anybody. I just reposted a tweet because I feel like a lot of people should watch it. He didn't even say it was a good movie. He didn't say nothing about it. He just like, I just reposted a tweet and I feel like a lot of people should watch it. However, people, you're disgusting. This and this. Just reach it. So this whole notion that Kyrie Irving is a troublemaker and that he just goes out his way to cause chaos, that's not the case. I also hear a lot of people saying that he ruined Kevin Durant's legacy. Let me stop it right there. Kevin Durant ruined his own legacy. Kevin Durant, at the end of the day, wanted to link up with Kyrie. And oh, by the way, I heard a lot of people saying, oh, how could Kyrie do KD like this? They're supposed to be friends. They're supposed to be buddies. How could you portray your brother like this? I didn't hear nobody say that when KD requested a trade this summer, though. Before this, when Kyrie Irving opted into his contract this last summer, a couple days later, KD requested a trade. So after he opted in, after he was basically like, yo, I'm coming back, KD requested a trade. I don't hear anybody saying, oh, how could you do your brother like this? I didn't hear none of that back then. But all of a sudden, when Kyrie requested a trade, now he's in the fault, right? So again, another example of people not criticizing Kevin Durant the way they should be. But anyways, Kevin Durant ruined his own legacy. Kevin Durant, at the end of the day, was winning on a team with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. You had a dynasty. We knew you couldn't win. We knew you didn't have the capabilities, the leader capabilities to go out with a team and win a title. We knew you couldn't do that. So that's why we looked at the move to Golden State like the way we looked at it. However, though, you were unhappy in Golden State. You made the decision to leave and link up with Kyrie. Whose fault is that? Now, I'm not saying Kevin Durant is out here making a fuss about it, but I'm saying people are making it seem like Kyrie Irving is just like at fault for everything that happened in Brooklyn. No, buddy. Let's not forget, Kevin Durant wanted to make the trade for James Harden. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that Kevin Durant gave the blessing and the pass to make the trade for Ben Simmons. Let's also not forget that Kevin Durant was a big part of hiring Steve Nash, considering that they was at Golden State together. So this whole thing of, oh, Kyrie Irving ruined everything. No, he didn't. Kevin Durant got some blood on his hands too. And with Kevin Durant being the leader and the best player on the team, majority of it has to fall on him. Like, this is just common sense. If you're the best player on the team, number one, you're going to be looked at as the leader. Number two, if things don't go well, we're going to look at you. Like, there's no excuse. There's no excuse.